So I'm back streaming Starfields. Starfields has a really bad reputation already. People are not as fond of Starfield as other Bethesda titles. I think one of the key differences, instead of walking everywhere, you're going through loading screens. And that's just how they structured it for some reason. That's funny structure. It's a random structure on that planet. So, interestingly, what is important about exploring in Starfield is when you find a planet that has this on it. If they have one of these locations, that's a key location that's probably handcrafted. Not so random. Also, ship encounters. You can also get random encounters when you go into a new system, but typically, or into a new system and over to a new planet, typically those are going to be ship battles. Typically ship battles. But what we're looking for are these things, these markers. Because these markers here are going to be the things that are going to lead to the more interesting locations in Starfield. I mean, if you just click on a random planet, you can land anywhere you want. But these are the locations you really want to look for, because they'll typically have better loot, more worthwhile encounters, sometimes a magazine to increase your stats, just like in Fallout. There are sets of magazines that do different things. And those do carry over between playthroughs. Absolutely carry over between playthroughs. The magazine increase of stats. So we just landed on this planet. I get up and do my experience buff routine here. And then we'll head outside and explore a little bit.
That was quite a workout. Hope you have... as much fun as I did.
A deserted mineral plant. That's what we landed at. So we're actually not going to do that quest for a while. Oh, it's not even... Don't know why it's saying that's what I need to do when I don't even have that designated.
Captain. Hello. I am.
What we got here? Spacers. There's probably not going to be another way inside. I mean, there might be one on the side, but I doubt it. These are typically the power required. Okay. You'll end up going through this thing here and coming out the end back here. Some of these are similar, but what I've noticed recently is a lot of the encounters that I'm finding are a lot more varied from when they released this most recent patch. Oh no, what's happening here?
This is gonna end badly for you.
What the heck is going on? There we go. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, we're back.
Power. It's incredible.
I've noticed that also Bethesda needs to work on what is behind the different difficulty locks, because some of the loot behind some of the master locks is not that great. Meanwhile, some of them behind the novice locks are like really good loot. And maybe that's just random, but I've had it happen too many times in my experience with this game for it to not be a coincidence. It's like they want to give players that chose not to invest in their lockpicking the best loot, which is strange and backward from other Bethesda experiences. I mean, maybe it's not that backward. I've had a few situations like that in Fallout, but not as many. Not nearly as many as in Starfield. And it seems like this most recent patch did not fix that issue. But I will pop a few locks here to show that. So this is a novice lock. And I'm not talking about doors, I'm talking about safes in particular. Doors are a different thing. Because, obviously that's gonna lead you to somewhere, or, other places. Greater loot, if you will. That's not bad. Novice. Again, this is a novice. Novice safe. Keep that in mind as we go forward.
What over here?
I think I still need to drink my tea. Drinking tea increases, it has a experience buff, so drinking tea enhances your experience. Silly pun. Hello. He was just standing there. Poor guy. really bad idea to be firing next to these explosives. Spacers. Not too worried about it. Really don't want to start an explosion in here. Oh boy. The worst is when one of the valves gets hit, because it'll just cause a lot of fire everywhere, and I'm trying not to let that happen. Okay, he's down. Have any other enemies? Nope. Well, yep, down here. But we're gonna explore up here really quick, because I think there's going to be a magazine here. Typically, when there's a location you can see from space. So this one's advanced. Typically when you see one from space, there's something beneficial there, and we'll see if this keeps up with that. This is the first planet I'm exploring in this system, the system of Mal, and this playthrough, MAAL. Okay, let's find the other one that fits. And we've got a match there. So, in advanced, lock gave me 594 credits and a zero, I don't know why I said it that way, 0G gimbal. Not, I would have expected, a better weapon than I found in the novice safe, perhaps. I don't know. They need to fix the lock loot balance, the safe loot balance, like, if you will. Let's see here. This will open the doors. Downstairs. And I think that this just leads back outside where we were, not deeper into the facility. And it does look like there's somebody downstairs still. So we have places to explore here. Chameleon ground crew pack. Not a jetpack.
You don't need any of this. I'll be happy to take it off your hands.
Okay, yeah, so we're gonna check downstairs, because I did see another enemy down here, and we have a few rooms to explore, it looks like. Crew quarters, which this might be where the magazine is. Oh. That scientist does not look like he's having a good time there. Meal pack. Here we go. There it is. Permanently adds a 1% chance to disarm enemies with unarmed or melee strikes. That's not expert lock. Okay. It's a door. Not terribly difficult. The expert locks, I feel like, are not that hard to pick. There are some locks, however, that I've noticed do just malfunction out of nowhere in terms of the usability of the locks themselves. Some of them don't have the right lock mechanism, the matching grooves, I don't know, slots.
See if they've got any weapons or ammo.
Okay, we're done here. I'm not really that interested in exploring out the rest of this planet. So I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, we'll start here.
I have something for you when you have a moment.
And this barren planet seems to have 2 moons. Good for them. Okay, next planet in is this one, and we have a ship encounter here. I'm just going to travel directly to that. It's an ecliptic ship. I'm just going to
Target grabbed right there. Now.
Their shields are gone. Attention. Crab trap on a commission.
Go ahead and grab their stuff.
Captain, our grab drive is fully repaired.
Yeah, I mean, Starfields will only get better over time, I think. You know, it's too early to say. I think that Xbox might have been pressuring them to get the game out at a certain time frame, and it wasn't ready. I think that there are a lot of redeeming qualities about this game. I think that, you know, if you enjoy walking everywhere in games, then you know, there are a lot of games you can walk everywhere. It's what you do in Fallout and Elder Scrolls and everything, and everywhere here you pretty much have to fast travel too. Go through a loading screen.
We're locked in.
It's not like No Man's Sky where you can just go from the planet's surface to space. And I think
this is bad? Try suit walking on the exterior of a military ship during maneuvers.
well,
I am dissatisfied with the results.
I think that the problem is that the game never ends. There is no post game. It's all game. The ending isn't an ending. It's just a continuation. And like, because I agree. There's not enough post game content in going through and collecting everything. I mean, you could go from planet to planet and go explore all of these handcrafted dungeons that Bethesda has put around, or you can land on random places on planets, anywhere you like, and it'll generate random POIs that are kind of mediocre. I think setting up the expectation that you can walk around the planet was really foolish, and they should have never said any of that. I think that more of an objective, I guess, yeah, I guess it's really up to the player what their objective is after that, and if there's nothing else drawing you into the game, nothing else that feels worth exploring because so many of these places look the same. And to a degree, it kind of makes sense, because in a lot of situations and prefabrication, there are things that end up looking about the same, but they could have done things so much differently, you know? I think that generally when you're setting out to make the focus about the narrative, which, yeah, Rockstar wanted to make a realistic world, but their stories that they're telling in those games are not mediocre. And it's hard to tell a story when things are open-ended, you know? To a degree, you could say that Red Dead Redemption, Grand Theft Auto, all those games, they're linear. They're open. They have an open world, but all of the story progression, all of that is linear because it has to be. You can't tell a cohesive story and have it be non-linear. It just doesn't, like, I mean, to a degree, like, you can't tell a story in, I mean, hang on. That's not entirely true. You can tell stories in random orders, but as long as that order is understandable and you set up a sequence ahead of time. For example, like, there's the movie Memento. Christopher Nolan did that before Batman, and like, it's a masterpiece in terms of disordered storytelling. Like, repeated okay, so Grand Theft Auto has a bunch of quests that are set up where you can go and talk to certain factions, and they're all ordered, right? And to a degree, that this is a similar way that's presented in most games, right? I mean, in Tears of the Kingdom, you can go to any of the dungeons and start any dungeon and start any temple at any point in time. But you can't go start any mission you want in Grand Theft Auto. But the thing is, like, Tears of the Kingdom has a linear setup. You have to talk to certain NPCs in certain orders to make certain things go forward, to make certain things progress. That's just how it has to be for every story. Otherwise, it's not interesting. I mean, when everything looks the same, though, I think that this is one of the issues in Starfield, is like, all of this stuff here looks the same. This warehouse looks the same as the last place that I was in, even though it has a different layout. Yeah, so the example that you posed here, you have to talk to Tebet in order to do the Mado. Yeah, so you have to talk to certain characters in order to initiate certain things to get anywhere, right? Otherwise, like in Tears of the Kingdom, if you didn't go to Lookout Landing, you would never get the glider. And then how are you going to explore the game? Like, oh man. If there's not varied stuff to look at, and I think the reason why, because there's stuff everywhere that I could pick up, and there's things I could turn over, but it all looks the same, and it's not worth looking at or accumulating, because it's not like I can add something. I think that's kind of the brilliance of Tears of the Kingdom. And yeah, I will go back to Tears of the Kingdom. I promise I'm going to go back to Tears of the Kingdom this week. On Tuesday, I'm going to start streaming Tears of the Kingdom again. What is this, a master lock? Recently, I've felt it's been really difficult to engage with games to a degree because of some of the recent things that have happened with Xbox and the closures of those game studios, especially Tango Gameworks. Arcane was great too. I think that, again, another game that got rushed to release, and this is on Microsoft's challenge runs. What kind of challenge runs? I mean, there are so many different kinds of challenge runs. You could even make up a couple, but shield only. Shield only, throwables only. Two-handed only. Those are all really interesting. Those. I mean, I think one of the most annoying things for me in like my first playthrough was not knowing that doing the dungeons gave you the spirits. So I was thinking about just avoiding the temples for a while and doing everything else. But to add a challenge run to that, I'll have to think. Those are really good options. I think that those are really interesting. I'll have to decide on which one I want to do. Also, the DLC for Shadow of the Erd Tree for Elden Ring comes out at the end of this month. And I'm considering going back to Elden Ring as well. I just wanted to get Starfield out of my system because there are things about this game that I do enjoy because I'm a fan of space stuff. I think, it would be a lot more interesting if they included some other beings other than people. I mean, even the Starborn are people. Like, there aren't any monsters. I mean, yeah, there are aliens, alien creatures on planets and whatnot, but, like, I don't know, Fallout has, like, super mutants, and Elder Scrolls, there's, like, the snow elves in Skyrim. There's not really And maybe they'll add that. Did I find the magazine? I don't think I found the magazine in here yet. You know, I put a lot of time into Dark Souls, and I totally feel that the first Dark Souls, when it first came out, I put some time into that, and there were aspects of it that I just didn't like, and then I picked up the second one, and Dark Souls 2 just has a different flow to it. It just felt better playing it, and eventually I did go back to the first Dark Souls, and I went through the storyline there. But Dark Souls, I think Dark Souls 3, especially Dark Souls 3, is what did it for me. The combat in the third game just had a better flow to it. I think that was coming off of Bloodborne. I think that might have been why. And Elden Ring, you know, is as long as you're careful, you take your time, and you learn move sets, it can be very rewarding, but you know, it really is not for everyone. I recommend it to everyone, to play it at least once to see what it feels like. But I think to learn the mechanics, it's better to play. Yeah, Starborn and Dragonborn sound the same too. Demon Souls. I haven't played Demon Souls. I haven't played Demon Souls because I haven't been able to afford a PlayStation in years. You know, when you the issue is, and because I don't really care about whatever console. You know, I love Nintendo. I love the games that come out on PlayStation consoles, and if there were games on Xbox. I mean, I have a library full of games that I've acquired over the years from playing Xbox games, or from playing on Xbox consoles, and you know, having a list of achievements to go along with it. It's hard to let go of that, but Demon Souls made you feel confined? That totally makes sense, yeah, because it's like the precursor to the first Dark Souls, right? I mean, we can go back further and say that Kingsfield is a precursor to that, but even still, the experience in Demon Souls is definitely gonna be more brutal than Dark Souls. I feel like over time they've made their games a little bit more accessible. I think that that's partly why Elden Ring took off the way that it did, because you can build your character, you can find ways to exploit the game mechanics to just use single move tactics that really take no effort whatsoever. Oh, my pockets are full. That's why my stamina is draining. Oh man. Oh. In Twilight Princess? No. The Forest Temple in Twilight Princess is super extensive. It's really annoying. I really don't like the Forest Temple in Twilight Princess. I did enjoy the Sky Temple. The weird I don't know what they are. The sky people in that one with the weird baby heads. They freak me out, but they're really weird. It was a really interesting dungeon. I really enjoyed Twilight Princess. That's one of my favorites. Can't say it is my favorite Zelda game because I don't think I could break down any Zelda, all of the Zelda games enough to pinpoint what is my favorite Zelda game. They're all great. Yeah. Yeah, the city in the sky with the weird bird people. I can't remember what are they called. Those the sky people in Twilight Princess. It's been so long since I played that game. Went in the complete opposite direction of my ship. I'm not paying attention. Oh no. Gotcha. It is a fun experience. I won't spoil it for you. It's a lot of fun. Ooh, Link's Awakening. The Game Boy version or the Switch version? Because I have the Switch remake. I could stream that one. I haven't played that one in a long time. Nice. Nice. All right. You know, why don't, instead of doing Tears of the Kingdom, going back to Tears of the Kingdom right away, how about on Tuesday, I'll do Link's Awakening, and then once we're done with Link's Awakening, I'll go back to Tears of the Kingdom. I'm trying to write myself up a schedule for the stream, and I'll update the channel information with that schedule. Because well, I don't have anything on my schedule yet for tomorrow. I mean, I could start tomorrow. Absolutely. Later on tonight, I'll be streaming Civilization again with Nikki Nightmare. So tomorrow, I don't have anything on my schedule, so why don't I go ahead and do that tomorrow? Monday, Tuesday, I'll do Link's Awakening. Right on. Cool. Yeah, I'll just start tomorrow. All right. Then midnight my time, so it's like 3 p.m. my time here. So why don't I just start streaming Link's Awakening like midnight my time, and then it'll be morning for you. Yeah. So what I'll do is, because I've taken a bit of a break, and now I'm back from that break, so I want to. Oh, I'm trying to drop that. Trying to set up a more of a schedule for myself. So I'm going to be streaming a lot more and varied games. So like I was thinking about streaming Fallout on Friday, Fallout 4 on Friday, and then Sea of Thieves a couple days a week, maybe Saturday, possibly Wednesday or Thursday. I haven't really decided yet, but right on. Oh, hang on. Right on. Yeah, I'll definitely stream Fallout 4. I could even make that 2 days a week. I might do that Wednesday. Friday, I'll do Fallout, and then Monday, Tuesday, I'll do Link's Awakening until I'm done with it, and then after Link's Awakening, we'll switch to Tears of the Kingdom. I'm not giving myself a day off at all. I don't really need it. I will be taking another break here at the end of the month for about a week, and then I'll be back. either late June or early July. So for the next few weeks, I'm going to be streaming very consistently. Well, I mean, so Sundays, I'm probably just going to be streaming in the evenings in the future. I'll probably just be streaming in the evenings, streaming Civilization. So that kind of is a break. But some of these I'm only going to be playing for a couple hours at a time. And here, hang on. I'm gonna mute my microphone for just a moment. So I'm back. So I I'm trying to make streaming more of a focus, at least for now. Some of the mid-forum content that I was going to work on before kind of got sidelined by a few other projects that came up. But I think what I'll be doing in the future for... Hang on one second. And streaming in and of itself is kind of uh, depending on the game, uh, kind of a challenge, because YouTube makes you angry. Why does YouTube make you angry? I'm totally here for your rant about YouTube. How long ago was that? Was that recent? Or was that um Gotcha. So right now, like if you're posting stuff recently, like you might not get very much traffic. I've also found that like the algorithm itself, it feels a bit separate. Streams, videos, and shorts seem to have separate algorithms, but they affect one another. So like, for example, I've noticed that when I post like Fortnite shorts consistently, I'll get like I'll get into some algorithm where like every short I'm posting is like getting a few thousand views, and then we'll post a video and then my shorts views drop off completely, and then I'll post another short and it'll like, and recently since I've gotten like monetized, and again, like I'm not making much money doing this. It's still kind of like in the early stages, so it's not very much. Even though I say I'm monetized, it's not much at all. It's a few cents per video. And so the so when since I got monetized, my shorts, they don't take off as much as they used to. It's like they got caught in a different algorithm. I would get like 500 views. Before monetization, I was getting a few thousand views a video, and then it completely just dropped off. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. I just want like to preface this because like in order to like make money on YouTube, you have to be getting like hundreds of thousands of views. Like we're making a little bit of money, little bit, pennies per video. So it's it's a lot of work, and it does not pay very much right now, but it's like a snowball, you know. The more effort that you put into it, the more force it will gather. That's the concept, right? The more that you post, the more that you do, the more it returns. And I mean, so I started posting stuff on YouTube a year ago last month, and it was kind of on a whim because my storage had filled up with clips from Fortnite, and I kind of was in a place where I didn't want to delete them, but I just decided I'll just start sharing them. Dude, right on. 55,000 shorts views. That's great. Yeah, so it wasn't in shorts views that we got monetized. We got monetized from view time, and from obviously you have to get 1,000 subscribers before you can do that. But also right now there's a lot of stuff going on in the world that I think is distracting from viewership as well, and understandably so. Oh, I just took all the resources in my cargo hold, didn't I? What is happening to my... Where am I? I thought I was in my cargo hold this whole time, and I just dropped everything on the floor. I'm paying attention to this conversation more so than Starfield, which is fine. It's Starfield. I think that in order to, like, we got monetized, we got our channel monetized in less than a year, and it is possible for a gaming channel to get monetized in less than a year, which is crazy to me. Are you wanting to create like shorts content with your with the Fortnite content? Like take the shorts, like take clips that you make in Fortnite and words. Hang on, I need to take a sip of my coffee. You could try Fortnite stuff. I mean, it's not that popular right now this season because the game needs some balance adjustments. And I mean, I haven't tried Roblox videos myself, but yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. Um, my cat is very talkative right now. Well, I don't know if that's the route that I want to take for my stuff, because you know it's not. I don't have anything against Roblox, but it's just not something that I've ever played. And I know there's a lot of variety in. Oh, I didn't mean to drop that. Oh well. A lot of variety in those games. Sorry, hang on. Give me 1 sec. Let me focus on my inventory really quick. Otherwise, I'm gonna drop everything in. I'm trying to get this all organized. What is that game mode like? That sounds interesting. So the strongest battlegrounds is a PvP game mode with a bunch of different move sets. And it needs some balancing, but it's addicting. Interesting. All right. If I ever decide to play Roblox, then I will definitely give that game mode a shot. But there's so many games. I think that's part of the issue with gaming, is that like everyone is trying to make the next game, the next hit, the next Fortnite, and like nobody's gonna be the next Fortnite. I don't think even Epic knows how to do it again. Like they have it already. Why would they need to? But it's such a difficult thing to pull off and continue to make fun. The main attraction for the content in this game mode in Roblox is the combos. Right on. So it feels like a fighting game, kind of. Sort of. Is it like 3D though? Kind of like a arena based, rather than like, for example, like Smash Bros, which is another game I could stream. I also have Smash Bros. I could play that. I'm okay. I haven't played it in years, but that game, I don't like going back to it because it breaks my controllers. That's what gives my controllers stick drift on my Switch. Right on. That's really cool. So it is like you do have full control over your character moving around the world. Full 3D. That's great. Another science outpost. You know, you'd think because I left the crew on the ship that they would be like working on repairs for the grav drive while I was doing everything else on the ground there, and it would be repaired. No, you got to do it the hard way. You got to wait till you're in space. Can't do repairs on the ground. Silly. that doesn't make any sense. I think one of the issues in this game, and it's really strange because most Bethesda games have comedy in their dialogue. I feel like Starfield very much takes itself too seriously, and I think that's part of where the game suffers in its narrative. Like there are too many serious issues going on in the Starfield universe, which, you know, makes sense because the flavor style they were going for was NASA punk, and you can't get away from serious when you're talking about NASA. But I feel like there was more comedy in the Fallout games. There is more comedy in the Fallout games. There's less taking itself seriously. They're more weird, strange, and unique storylines in both Elder Scrolls and Fallout. You know, that the list goes on. I think that, you know, Starfield's okay, but it's not as interesting of a world in terms of its story narrative. Not like, you know, there are multiple worlds in Starfield, but like in terms of its world building narratively, it doesn't feel as like when I talk to this guy's going to be like, hey, can you help us because we left someone behind, or we're too lazy to go get our data.
Got some work?
I wonder if Vasco was assembled in a place like
I wasn't
this.
expecting to see anyone else out here. I'm glad you stopped by. We're collecting data on the local geology. You wouldn't be interested in helping us out with a little scanning work, would you?
And this is what I'm talking about. It's like, hey, will you go do some serious science for us?
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Sure, I guess. I'll do some planetary surveys for you, good sir. I rarely run into a quest in this game that's like really just weird. All of those quests are like on the main story arc of the narrative. There's nothing like weird and random that I've found off of the beaten path. that I'm like, oh yeah, that's really cool. It's typically been kind of like, oh, that's kind of boring. Oh, we're doing science again. Okay. There's no random, like, I don't know. And they try to do the things in space, but it's always some like really serious bounty hunter that's like, I'm gonna mess you up. There's nothing funny that I don't think there's been a dialogue in this game that I've laughed out loud at. And there are many, many moments in the Fallout series where I legitimately laughed. Because some of the things are so outlandish. You can't do outlandish stuff in this. Like, yeah, these monsters are kind of interesting, but I've seen these before in, like, No Man's Sky. These aren't unique or different. It's just a bunch of random stuff put together to make these creatures, and they're like, there are a bunch of these creatures that look exactly the same across different planets with different like shell structures, different like body parts, and like I want to like this game. I really want to like this game because I think Bethesda makes good games, but I just the time investment involved, and I'm kind of looking at the same planet that I've looked at every time I land on a new planet. I jump up in the air, I see these similar structures. If I go to the what is it, the red mile, the POI, like it's a main point of interest, these same ice shards all over the place. Everything looks the same, and yet we're all on different planets. And yeah, I've found stuff that looks varied and different and interesting and whatnot, but like, I think that if Fallout didn't have any of the funny dialogue options or interesting character interactions, and it was just the world itself, without the uniqueness of the story arcs, the dialogue choices, what else do you have? Just walking along. There's not a reason that I'm fighting these things. There's not a reason that, like, there's no story for all of these creatures. There's like a story of the terror morphs, and you know, part of that is due to there being like hundreds of planets, but I don't know. I think that the tighter the focus story in terms of the world itself, the better the experience. It feels like there are a lot of loose ideas that were present in the making of this game that separately are kind of interesting, but I don't feel like they connect very well. Like the ground combat and the space combat feel very different, and they should feel different, but it doesn't feel it feels like I'm loading into a different game when I'm going into space. And one that was left unfinished. Because some of the space combat. Is a little clunky.
If you need to buy coffee, you're out of luck. The postgrads bend to it like it's their job.
I'm not even going to finish that quest. I don't feel particularly inclined to. At least with the update for the maps that they've provided, you can see more of the elevation, and they cut off the map, so you know that there's a cutoff. You can see where there's water. The water does have more of an interaction with your character now than it did before. I'm just going to explore out this system,
All crew accounted for.
and then
Ready to depart.
we'll sign off the stream. Next Bethesda game we will be playing will absolutely be Fallout 4. I've already made a character. I've already gone through the intro. We're not going to start a fresh experience because I feel like, it's character creation. And I went ahead and did that. I made a Walter White somewhat look-alike, as close as I could get with the Fallout character creator engine. One of the protagonists from Breaking Bad, or I guess the protagonist, unless you consider Jesse Pinkman the protagonist, which he could also be. Depending on the episode. But that's not going to be the main focus. I just thought it was a funny thing. It's been a long time since I've played Fallout 4. I played it when it first came out. I played through the entirety of the game before they really made any fixes, just like I did with Starfield. And I'm actually looking forward to going back to Fallout 4 because it had a lot of issues when it first came out. A lot of issues. And now it seems like a lot of those issues have been fixed. There's still funny glitches, of course, because those are features, right? This is what I mean by like ship stuff feeling like it's a separate, unfinished game. Yeah, I know it's space, and it's supposed to be big and empty, but it's also a game. You know what I mean? Like, extreme environment. Is that ship actually there? I thought I did that already. Maybe it's a new ship. That's funny. Elder Scrolls. I mean, you know, it's okay. Which storyline? Which storyline was your favorite with Elder Scrolls Online? Like which factions playthrough felt best for you? The one on the right. Let's see. What? It's. Oh, geez. That went by a little bit faster than I thought. What the heck? That was some space debris just whizzed past me. That was hard to catch up to. That was weird. The lion one. The lion. Where do you go in that series? Like, what is it like? It's been a while since I played Elder Scrolls Online myself. I don't think I even got through it. I had a roommate that played through all of the campaigns, so I saw quite a bit of it. Every one of the storylines. Yeah. I had a hard time getting into the crafting system. It was really obtuse, and I felt like a lot of the content that I was finding about Elder Scrolls Online at the time, because for MMOs especially, I want to look up and see what kind of game I'm getting into, because an MMO is a big investment. You know, you don't want to get into something that's like going to be really tedious. in an annoying way. You know, if you do have tedium in an MMO, every MMO has that. You at least want it to be somewhat engaging. Like the tedious stuff in WoW is like the grinding reputation, which isn't that bad depending on what expansion of the game you're on. But like Elder Scrolls, it felt like the grind for crafting was really intense, and it was just a system that I was not that interested in. I really enjoyed the level up system, the perk system, how you got to evolve and enhance your abilities over time. That was really fun. The combat systems in ESO were really fun in terms of an MMO. I spent way too many years playing World of Warcraft. And by comparison, I think that the combat is definitely an improvement in ESO. But every expansion of World of Warcraft, the combat system changes. So I haven't played that one. And Lord of the Rings Online is the one you did? Right on. When I had the opportunity to play Lord of the Rings Online, my internet wasn't so great, so it was really hard to do anything in that game. But there's still like a pretty big fan base for that game. All right. Well, get some sleep. We'll see you next time.
Gonna tear that ship apart.
I'm gonna end the stream pretty soon anyway. I'm finished exploring the system, and these are pirates fighting someone that I'm not enemies with. So, oh wait, did it not? Let me scan it before I leave. Oh, there is... What? Spaceship debris on the planet?
Site is clear. Descent started.
Yeah, you too. We'll see you next time.
Talk to me.
Rebuff my XP. I'm going to check out the spaceship debris, and then I'm going to be ending the stream before I even leave the system. I just wanted to stream a little bit more of Starfield before I uninstalled and move on to other things.
Clean next time I go in there.
I'll get to it, Dad.
Good day, Captain.
So, south of me here. I think it's funny that I turn around and there's no sound from that ship in the distance at all. Interesting. Just a bunch of ship parts. Nothing else here? Let's see. This is what we saw from space. This is the main location that we saw from space.
Frost is starting to interfere with my instruments.
A little disappointed. Last night I was playing and seemed like every location I was discovering was unique and new and different. And then I streamed today, and every place I run into is just shallow, samey, and kind of boring. And perhaps that downed ship was there to draw us to another location. Bethesda does do that sometimes, where there will be a location next to another one more significant than the other. So let's see. This big tall building over here looks like it could be something. It also could be nothing. It looks kind of like the same building that we found on another planet in this same system. Oh boy. It is almost identical to the facility that we found, down to this exact crate. Solid storage. This is the exact same design. Is this going to be full of spacers too? Abandoned research tower.
Quite an impressive facility. Obviously built for scientific studies. Can you imagine the resources it took to construct?
Yeah, there are spacers up there. Ah, ecliptic. Close. Better XP than spacers. David Copperfield, everyone.
people searching them. Make it quick.
There's got to be a control panel around here that can open those doors.
I'd love to get a look at the notes on this facility's experiments.
Somewhere. Don't know where. It's worth quite a bit. What? I guess we'll open this door and see if there's a way out this way. What? I thought there would be a switch on that control panel, but maybe we just have to go through this door. Sometimes these locks are just absolutely... It's like one... Let's try to find the little pattern difference. Just this one. No. Ugh. It's a closet? Okay, there's a legendary weapon in here. God, I've found so many weapons, so many legendary weapons that have Berserker on it as one of the bonuses, and I just
Guess that we're not supposed to be trespassing in this laboratory.
think that is the most useless. Do more damage the less armor you have. Okay. Not gonna have less armor. Not gonna go with less. Maybe it's just my luck here. Any sort of control panel at all? No. None. There's none down here. I don't see any down here. A door with a master lock. Is it gonna be worth it? It's hard to say. I have almost 1,000,000 credits. Do I need it? No. I wish there was a way to stop the alarm here and open those doors. Oh. Well, still might be. Oh, hey. It's a large version of the plushie. There is a small one somewhere. I don't know where it is. Somewhere in the game.
I don't stock up on junk.
Junk? Technically all of it is, isn't it? And this way to storage. I don't think that actually gave me a skill bonus because I don't think that it's I think I've collected all of the skill bonuses for the Constellation magazines. This view would be enjoyable if this didn't have an alarm blaring. That's funny. Yeah, I don't want to take. I just don't want to take the time to open the locks. I feel like opening those locks are a waste of time. I feel like if you're going to pop any lock, if it's a novice lock or a master lock, will probably have decent loot in them. I know it's random, but I just... What's the maximum height in these zones? Send myself into orbit. The division of the random art assets is very square. You can really tell from this high up where, like, the dividing asset strips are. Although I guess you could tell that now from just looking at the map. Yeah. That's funny. I think that's maximum height. Yeah. Can only go up so high. I think the ship customization is probably the best feature, you know, improvement for Bethesda in this series. Like, looking back on the base building for Fallout 4 and versus the starship building in Starfield, it's a huge difference. I think a major improvement, but then there's everything else in the game. And so many features that I think over time they will eventually improve. I really think that Bethesda cares about this game and they want it to succeed. And in order to help it to succeed, I think that they're going to put a lot of time into Starfield. But I think that one of the major things that it suffers from is not having a sense of humor. I think that's the biggest thing. It takes itself very seriously. Very serious game. Bethesda. It needs some levity. There needs to be some comedy relief. And there are very many dialogue options in Starfield, and very few of them did I even chuckle. So, there could be a comedy relief character in here somewhere that could fix a few of those things. I don't feel like your number one fan is enough of a comedy relief. He's too creepy. He's too weird. He's not funny. It's strange. His takes. He's a little too obsessed with the protagonist to be funny. Bethesda's getting there, though. They are working on it. And I think little by little, they will fix Starfield, and one day it will have more of a following. I think it will get better over time. Who knows how long it'll take, though. Might be a couple years before we get to a point where, and it's interesting because now, like, a lot more people are picking up Fallout 4. I had a lot of issues with Fallout 4 when it first came out. I'm looking forward to going back and streaming it. So given that, thank you all so much for watching. If you're still watching this, I really appreciate it. Please give this stream a like and subscribe if you haven't done so. And we'll see you on the next stream. Have a great day, everyone.